Colonel Jacob said that, and I think this was on the first day he gave his testimony, he said that the container you wanted to search could have been moved from where it was, where you believed, or he believed, there were impediments to a proper search and even a proper conduct of what needs to be done at a crime scene. And that as a result, or rather he said, the container could be moved to another spot within the depot, another spot at which the search and seizure could then be conducted properly without any hindrance.
Okay.
I'm sure you would not dispute that.
I want to respond, Chair.
All right.
Remember, Chair, myself and Pangase, we remained in the parking. And then they went around.
So they would have seen...
maybe they might have seen the space where maybe the
so
container...
you are not in a position to dispute what he said?
No, I'm not in a position to dispute it.
For us to work as the machinery was moving up and down.
Yes.
That's your explanation. If the machinery was not moving up and down, at least that's what the statement suggests, that if there was no machinery moving up and down, you could have worked there. That's what this is conveying.
No, Chair, even in between the containers, the space was very minimal for us to be able to lay all the bags. It was going to be very difficult for us to move within the containers there.
Sorry, explain. The containers would have been lined up, right? I think that's how I understood the evidence, that
Right.
you had containers lined up.
Yes.
And then yours is one of them, and the door is open. Can maybe just explain in your words?
Okay. I'm saying, Chair, when they were moving the containers, they moved the top container, place it on the side, take the next container, place it on the other side, take the container that we were interested in, place it on the side. Then the space there was not enough for us to be able to do the counting.
Explain that space. Which space are you referring to?
I'm meaning the space in front of the container that we were about to inspect.
And the front is the door side
Yes,
of the
where the
container.
container is opening.
What constricted the space?
It was the containers that were placed around the container.
No, let's just forget about those. We accept, okay, they are alongside each other. Let's forget about that space. Tell us about the rest of the space. Tell us about
I'm
the
not
rest of the
getting
space.
you, Chair, if you are saying I must forget about the containers and tell you.
We've heard. I don't mean that becomes irrelevant. No, I'm saying we've fine. Thanks, Colonel. We've heard about that. The fact of the containers. Let me use parked alongside each other. We've heard about that. Now tell us about the rest of the space.
The machinery also was moving.
Where exactly was the machinery moving?
Picking up containers from the other side of the depot, and there were also other people conducting inspections.
But in relation to the space that you wanted, you would otherwise have used, where was the machinery moving?
Next to the containers.
Where's next?
I don't understand, sir, if you say where's next.
There's behind, there are sides, there's everything else. You were there, you know it better
Behind
than
and
I.
in front of the containers.
The pictures.
I can see the picture, Chair.
Yeah. Would the one that, or was the one you were to search, was it somewhere in the middle or was it to the side?
I don't recall, Chair.
Okay. Now, if you are able to, looking at this picture, where would the machinery, or where was the machinery moving?
You know, Chair, when you're looking at that picture, the machinery will be moving in front to the other side of the container.
That side, that is
In front-
opposite
in-
where the doors are.
In
When you
front
say
of the, in front of the door, then we'll be moving to that other side.
right across
The
where
front
the
of
doors
pitch,
are.
Yes.
And how far would that be from the container itself, or how far was that from the container itself? I keep using wood as if this was hypothetical. How far were these, or how far was the machinery from the containers or the doors of the containers?
If the machinery is supposed to leave,
And please estimate in meters. I'm sure as a police officer you are able to do that.
I'm trying to respond, Chair.
I'm sorry if I sounded impatient, sorry.
Yeah. So I'm saying, Chair, if the machinery is about to pick up the container, it will come very close to the container. But if it's moving in front of the container to lift other containers on the side, maybe it can have a distance.
Oh, so you are saying the containers that were with the one you wanted to search, some of them were being moved as you were there. Some of those that were already lined up together with the one you wanted to search, you are saying some of those were being moved as you were there, wanting to conduct the search.
Not necessarily the ones that were next to the one that we were about to search, but the movement of the machinery was happening there, Chair.
In that case, I don't understand the relevance then of, rather, I don't understand why you would refer to these, the machinery in relation to these containers. I don't understand. If they were moving other containers, not the ones alongside the one you wanted to search.
They were moving other containers, passing the ones that we were interested in searching.
Coming to pick up the one they wanted to, the one that was to be moved, or the ones that were to be moved, or coming from and already carrying the container. We're trying to get a picture of the impediments or hindrances. And right now, you've not explained this in a manner that we understand. Let me tell you what we were told by Colonel Jacob. We did not want up front to tell you, because I thought maybe your explanation would tie in with what he told us. The only hindrance in terms of movement that he told us about was that there was movement behind you. 2 meters behind you. He never said anything that suggests that there was movement of machinery right next to the containers, with containers being picked up. Well, maybe he did not necessarily mean that containers were not being picked up, but he said this was behind you, 2 meters from the containers. Would you confirm that that was so? Or that he is, or would you rather say he is mistaken?
Chair, for me, I saw some of the machinery moving in front of the containers.
I want you to just confirm or dispute what I've just put to you, which is what he said. That is, there was movement behind you as you are facing the containers, and that this was 2 meters from the doors of the containers.
Thank you for...
So you are between the movement and the doors of the containers.
Thank you for clarifying that now.
Would
When
you
you are facing the container,
Yes.
I was thinking of the back of the container.
No.
Okay.
So would you confirm that?
Yes, sir.
That was the case?
That was the case.
All right. Thank you.
Can I then go back to my question? Now that the confusion has been cleared, that the doors of the container are open, you are facing the container, you're the space, you're not inside the container, you're outside the container. My question was, if the machinery, there was no machinery there that was operating, and maybe let me amend it so that it's clearer maybe what I'm asking. that if you had cordoned off an area that prevented machinery from moving in front of there, is there a reason why you wouldn't have been able to inspect the drugs there at the scene, at the depot?
I think, Commissioner, considering the magnitude of the bags and the space required for the bags, still we were not going to be able.
So the reference to machinery as a factor is completely irrelevant then. It has to be irrelevant for this, for the purpose of my discussion with you and the answer that you are giving, that in fact, movement of machinery is irrelevant, of no consequence, because geographically there was no space to deal with that number of bags.
It's not
on the spot.
So sorry, Chair. It's not irrelevant because it's one of the factors that caused us to move that caused Kenny Jacob to move the crime scene.
The reason I'm saying it's irrelevant is if I accept your answer as your explanation of that space, I'm saying it wouldn't matter that there was machinery or not, because on your version, the space anyway wasn't there for you to do this search there and then, where you in front of the container. It sounds to me like it has to be like that if the space is indeed what you're saying.
Yes.
Right? So geographically, that space was impossible in front of the container, anywhere in front of the container. The space was so limited that even without machinery moving up and down, which somehow was able to move up and down, but even without that machinery, you could not have conducted the search in front of the container.
Yes, Commissioner.
Thank you.